Alrighty, so here we are. I have been messing with this a lot. Well, not a whole lot. I've literally done enough to get my Merlin costumes. But in doing so, I have gained a great deal of knowledge about this fight. So, here's the thing. This is all the all the YouTubers that I've watched have been like, "Oh, this fight's easy. This is such an easy fight." Merlin is probably the easiest of all of them because all the red units are super stacked. As someone who didn't use mono red at the beginning of the game, I have I have Hauser at 80. I've got Gother at 80, and then I've got Arthur at 75. Did I say this is Hauser, right? Hauser. I don't know if I called him Arthur. Anyways, yeah. So this is the team that I've been using, and the thing about it is, I cannot beat hell difficulty with this team. It doesn't work. So, the thing about it is, it just doesn't, like, with hell difficulty, with the extra health and everything that they have and how much damage they do extra compared to extreme, it just doesn't work. Like, I just cannot seem to do it, and I don't have any more resources to pump into any of these units really. Maybe I could get Twiggo up, but Twiggo's not even on the front line, like, being useful anyway. He's literally in the back for his passive. So the thing is, if you want to use this team is okay. If you're a free-to-play, or, you know, somebody who's just wanting to grind out all the materials and stuff like that, this is probably your best option if you don't have Escanor. Escanor obviously is going to do really well on this, but, you know, we're going for teams that don't have Escanor. Plus, I don't have Escanor. So, here's the thing. You can either keep it like this, or if you have Hellbrum, red Hellbrum, if you were a toxic Kingbrum player, or you just ended up maxing out Hellbrum, you know, just because you wanted to, or whatever the case may be, he is amazing for this fight. He is actually very, very good. So, if you have Hellbrum, push Hauser to the back, replace Twiggo with Hellbrum. That is going to help you exponentially, because the way it works is, you know, Hellbrum is just going to be doing a lot better for this fight, because he can take off ult gauge, and which is dissolve, so that's going to give you more points in the first place, and he can do some really good damage if you build him out right. Right now, I've got an HP defense set on Twiggo just to get me over the CC mark for hell, because I've tried it a couple of times with this team and cannot get it to work. Hauser seems like an okay option, and some of the top teams do use Hauser, but they mainly use him in the back. And the reason why he's not very good up front is because during the first phase of this fight, we'll actually go in and kind of show you a little bit. During the first phase of this fight, Merlin's minions are going to swap back and forth between a stance that deals 500% reflected damage back to you. So, using AoE moves is not ideal unless both of them have their stance down, or if you actually think you can kill the enemy while they have the stance up. So, the problem with that is that if you look at their stance, it's this one right here. Assumes a stance for one turn, which decreases damage by 50%, so you're already doing half damage, and reflects 50% of damage taken. Oh, I thought it was 500. I am so stupid. I made that sound so much more, you know, bad than it actually was. 50%. That's okay. That's not that bad, but it still does end up doing a pretty decent amount of damage to you. So, yeah. Other than that, the other thing that's really annoying, I think it's this one, decreases attack-related stats of one enemy by 20% and disables buff and recovery skills. Sorry for the dog noises. I can't help it at this point. The reason why that's so annoying is because you end up wanting to use Royal Sword a decent amount to help, you know, with everybody's stats. And if they use it on Arthur, you can't use this, and then if they use it on Gother, you can't rake up cards. So more often than not, in the very first beginning bit, I end up trying to rank up Arthur and get one of these off, so that way I can like actually get some stuff going. But if you have enough cards and if you have enough single target stuff to really focus down one of these guys at the very beginning, it's very helpful to go ahead and get the left one out of the way, because she's the one that uses her stance first. So yeah, but as you can see, she assumed the stance. Now she disabled that, so I can't use Royal Sword. And this is another annoying thing. So she gets 3 attacks every turn, and more often than not, 2 of those attacks, for me at least, my luck with it so far has been she uses 2 dissolve skills, which is super annoying, because if you really want to build up for the second phase or anything like that, like if in most of the fights you want to build up your ults and stuff to go into the second phase, that's virtually impossible. Like, yeah, it happens sometimes, but she is so annoying using those dissolve skills, it's ridiculous. So I kind of want to throw this, and then we will... I'm going to take a lot of damage here because of the reflect. This is a reason why I do not like Hauser on the team. But, alright, at least he killed right there, so he's not going to take the reflected damage on that second attack. But the thing is she gains a ton. I don't know if she's gaining a lot of defense-related stats or if she's just gaining a lot of HP, like she does in the second phase. But you're going to want to take out the minions in both phases, pretty much. Like, it's almost required, pretty much. So let me rank up this. We'll do this, and then we'll do that. Hopefully this will kill the minion. It should, at least. Oh, wow. Okay, minions down. I really wish that would have killed so he didn't take that damage, which that wasn't a whole lot. I think in Hell difficulty it might be a lot more reflected damage, because I feel like when I've done Hell, it makes it a lot worse on that. But if you guys are just putting together a team trying to grind out rewards and not going for any like the crazy numbers and everything like that, I would recommend doing something like this. So let's see here. I think we'll just get rid of these to build up his ult. That should be halfway decent. Obviously the problem with this is she can literally just hit us both with a dissolve skill, and it'll get rid of both ults, which, here it comes. Okay, so at least Hauser kept his. Not a huge issue, but alright, let's buff and cleanse, and then we'll just do an attack with Arthur. This should get rid of the shield, maybe, with that attack added on. Yeah, okay. So now we just need to burst her down as much as possible. I could probably just use this ult to get rid of it, since it's a single target. What are the odds I actually get to keep my ult? Oh, very good. Wow. Okay, so I'll take that. So obviously, like all the bosses, this is just RNG. Like, it's gonna take some, it's gonna take your stamina running this over and over again, trying to actually get this working. But yeah, this is the best thing that I've come up with, which I didn't even come up with this. I basically just day one looked at the leaderboards and see what people were using, kind of threw that together with some of the units that I had built up, and then because a lot of the units that people were already using were the basic units that everybody builds up that are red anyway. So yeah, I don't know. I would definitely recommend Helbram though. Helbram, I've seen people play with Helbram on this already, and it looks like it is going to do much, much, much better than Hauser. Hauser is just not fantastic for the fight. His ult does have the dissolve on it, so you're gonna see I'll gain a pretty decent amount of points right here from all these that I'm losing, or that she loses. But you get his ult so like few and far between. Plus, she takes off ult so much that it really, like, I don't know, I don't get it off all that often. Plus, right here, you've seen, which luckily I had level 3 Arthur buff on. She freezes a character at the end of every turn during the second phase, so her last card is always going to be a freeze card, from what I understand. I don't know for sure, but every time that I've done it so far, she's always queued up a card to freeze at the end. So, yeah. We're going to do this. I think the ult would have killed in the first place. I was going to say I maybe should have done that to try to dissolve to get more points, but oh well. So there. That's the fight. Obviously, this team is not the greatest, but it does get the job done. And, you know, doing extreme, you're going to get a halfway decent amount of, you know, score at the end of it every time. It kind of alludes to the fact that you should probably be using Helbram during extreme. So, yeah. I haven't. The only person that has a stance disabled that's worth using is Helbram, but it's his ult that has it, so I think that's kind of weird. Which, the fact that the first 2 guards alternate using the stance in the first place, you can kind of just burst down the other one that's not using the stance, and then kind of just rotate to the other one once the stance ends. So, yeah. I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot of good rewards. The outfit is amazing. There's a lot of decent, like you can get some hammers and anvils and stuff like that. If you're going to do this, I recommend doing it early as possible, because you're going to want to go in and you're going to want to try to buy these hammers every day, because you can only buy 1 a day. And there's only 5 of them, but if you forget to do it a couple of days, or like you're just not worried about the anvils, and it ends up getting later in the season, right before it ends or whatever, you're not going to be able to buy all these hammers at once, because they're limited to once a day. So make sure you're at least getting enough, you know, points to get the hammers out of the way, because those are really good. They're kind of important for your gear and everything like that. So yeah. Obviously, the engraving stones are a daily as well. These are daily, but there's a lot of these, and, you know, just make sure you're looking at all these daily things and grabbing as many of them as you can, because you don't want it to get to the end and you not be able to claim rewards. So, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have for you. So, hopefully this helped. I know that a lot of the teams are pretty much the same at this point. Like, I'm sure you've watched a bunch of YouTube videos other than mine, because mine's a little bit late. But, you know, this is just the information that I've got for you. Hopefully it was, you know, halfway helpful. I try to be as, like, free-to-play friendly as I can with these videos, because I'm not a massive whale, and I don't have, like, all these characters maxed out like a lot of the YouTubers do. So this is just what I'm working with, and kind of my opinions on the different characters. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future. And, yeah. Leave me a like on the video if you thought it was helpful. It kind of helps me out. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.